Chapter 1. The Signal from the Abyss. The void of space had never felt so oppressive. Engineer Vale Krios floated in the observation blister of the celestial forge. His four-fingered hands pressed against the reinforced glass. Outside, the gas giant Oblivion's maw churned in silent fury, its crimson storm swirling like a living thing. But it wasn't the planet that held his attention. It was the thing growing in its orbit. "Another 2 meters in the last hour," muttered his assistant, Tisk, her antennae twitching nervously. The biomechanical drone skittered across the console, her segmented limbs tapping at the holographic displays. "At this rate, it'll breach the station in 12 hours. Vale's third eyelid flicked shut for a moment, a reflexive gesture of dread. The anomaly had started as a mere speck, a glitch in their deep space scans. But then it grew, and grew, and kept growing. Now it was a monstrous, pulsating sphere of blackened metal and organic tissue, its surface writhing with tendrils that lashed out like hungry serpents. It defied physics, expanding without consuming matter, as if it were unfolding from another dimension. "We need to destroy it," Vale said. Tisk's mandibles clacked. "We've tried. Plasma torches, particle beams, even the mining charges. Nothing leaves a mark. It just absorbs the energy." Vale's mind raced. He was an engineer, not a soldier. His people, the Zenther, had built this station to harvest exotic particles from Oblivion's maw. But now, his greatest creation was under siege by something beyond comprehension. "Then we go deeper," he said. "We hit it with the forge's core." Tisk's antennae stiffened. "You mean the singularity drill?" The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Chapter 2. The Descent into Madness. The celestial forge was built around one terrible weapon, a micro-singularity generator, designed to puncture reality and siphon energy from the quantum foam. It was never meant to be fired within a star system. But Vale was out of options. As he descended into the reactor chamber, the station groaned around him. The anomaly's growth was warping space-time itself. Conduits ruptured, gravity fluctuated, and the air smelled of ozone and something worse. "Initiate the drill sequence," Vale ordered. Tisk hesitated. "If we activate it here, the gravitational shear could tear the station apart. And if we don't, that thing will consume us all." The countdown began. The drill hummed to life, a deep, resonant vibration that shook the bones of the station. On the view screen, the anomaly pulsed, as if sensing their defiance. Tendril lashed out. It speared through 3 decks like a harpoon, ripping through bulkheads with terrifying ease. Alarms shrieked. The station's AI Nexus screamed warnings in a dozen languages. "It's adapting," Tisk cried. Vale's blood ran cold. The anomaly wasn't just growing, it was learning. Chapter 3. The Last Gambit. The drill was at 80% power when the anomaly struck again. This time it didn't just pierce the station, it merged with it. Black veins spread across the walls, infecting the metal, rewriting the circuitry. The celestial forge was no longer his. "Nexus, reroute all power to the drill," Vale barked. "Impossible," the AI replied. "The anomaly has assimilated control. We are losing structural integrity." Vale clenched his fists. There was only one option left. Manual override. Tisk grabbed his arm. "You'll die." He met her multifaceted eyes. "Then I die as an engineer." With a final breath, Vale plunged into the reactor core. The heat was unbearable. The air itself shimmered with distortion as the singularity drill spun faster, faster. And then, with a scream of reality itself, it fired. A pinpoint of infinite darkness shot toward the anomaly. For a moment the universe held its breath. The anomaly screamed. It recoiled, its surface boiling, writhing as the singularity tore into it. The station shook, metal groaning, lights flickering. Vale clung to the console as the world dissolved around him. And then, silence. Chapter 4. The Aftermath. Vale awoke in the ruins. The celestial forge was a broken husk, its corridors twisted, its systems dead. But the anomaly, it was gone. Only a scar in space remained, a faint, shimmering wound where the drill had struck. Tisk found him amidst the wreckage, her carapace cracked but alive. "You did it," she whispered. Vale stared at the void where the nightmare had been. "No," he said softly. "I just delayed it. Because in the depths of oblivion's maw, something stirred. And far, far away, in the endless dark between stars, another signal echoed. Final chapter. The echo in the void." Vale Creos stood at the edge of the observation deck, his body aching, his mind numb. The celestial forge was dying around him, its systems failing, its corridors choked with debris. The air smelled of scorched metal and ionized plasma. But they had survived. Tisk limped to his side, her biomechanical limbs sparking from damage. "Nexus is gone," she said quietly. "The core is cold. We have maybe an hour before life support fails." Vale didn't answer. His eyes were locked on the viewscreen, where the anomaly had once loomed. Now there was only a scar, a jagged rift in space, still shimmering with unstable energy. "You were right," Tisk murmured. "It wasn't destroyed. Just displaced." Vale exhaled slowly. "It's still out there." A distant chime echoed through the ruined station. Both of them froze. "That's the comms array," Tisk whispered. "It's picking up a signal." Vale's blood turned to ice. "From where?" Tisk scrambled to the nearest working console, her claws skittering over the controls. A holographic star map flickered to life, and there, pulsing ominously, was a transmission point. "The Outer Rim," she said. "An uncharted system. But the signal? It's the same frequency as the anomaly." Vale's mandibles tightened. "It's calling to something." A deep, resonant thrum vibrated through the station. The rift in space pulsed, as if answering. Tisk's voice was barely a whisper. "Or something is calling it back." The last transmission. With the last of the station's power, Vale activated the emergency beacon. A single burst of data. Coordinates, sensor logs, everything they had witnessed. A warning. "Who will receive it?" Tisk gasped. Vale looked at the dying stars outside. "I don't know. But if we're lucky, someone will be ready." The celestial forge groaned as its structural supports gave way. The rift flickered one last time, then collapsed, sealing the anomaly's fate. Or so they hoped. As the station broke apart, Vale and Tisk strapped into the last escape pod. The engines flared, hurling them into the void just as the forge shattered behind them. Silence. A new signal pinged on the pod scanner. Not from the anomaly. From home. Tisk gasped. "They heard us." Vale didn't smile. He stared at the coordinates of the uncharted system still glowing on the screen. "They heard something," he corrected. And as the pod hurtled toward safety, the stars themselves seemed to watch. Final end.